Top.
Huge takedown there in the final seconds of the first round.
Yeah, that really got me pumped up, got my confidence up. I got it done.
Congratulations, my friend, and continued success to you. Maybe a state championship.
Yeah, possibly.
Good man. Lamont Tucker of the Martins Ferry Purple Riders. We'll be back with more right after this. On to the 125-pound championship. Nothing like a rematch. This will be a rematch of last year's 119-pound final. It will be #1 seed Justin Ewing of the St. Clairsville Red Devils. He is 19-1, and he will take on Bob Tucker of Martins Ferry with a record of 21-2. And last year in the 119 championship, it was Justin Ewing defeating Tucker by a score of 3-2. They have wrestled this year during the regular season, and Ewing won that one as well, 6-3. Does it become a psychological thing when the same guy keeps beating you, or do you get more determined to come at him?
Well, there's a psychological thing in that the guy coming from the loss trying to beat the wrestler, but there's also the psychological thing from the one that has won, taking second thoughts. Is my number up? They've all been close matches, and trying to second guess yourself, and you have to really work hard not to let that happen to you. The St. Clairsville wrestlers coached by John Votris. I've been to St. Clairsville for quite some time. Of course, we've already mentioned that the Martins Ferry wrestler coached by Jeff Oberdick. The coach, Oberdick's wrestler, Tucker Boyd, will have the green anklet in the red and gray of St. Clairsville Red Devils. The red anklet will be Justin Ewing. Justin Ewing placed 6th in the state last year at 119 pounds to end his season last year as a junior. Both wrestlers are seniors, so this is their last time here at this giant OVAC tournament as a wrestler.
I might add that Bob Tucker is a cousin of Lamont Tucker. We've got a set of cousins in the finals, both from Martins Ferry. We've got two sets of brothers, the Fitches of East Liverpool and the Wards of John Marshall, and we'll be talking more about that as we get along here. But for the present time, this is the 125 championship. Justin Ewing in red of the St. Clairsville Red Devils. Bob Tucker, who was seated 4th in this event and upset the #2 seed Gino Jerome of Wheeling Park to get into this championship, and now he's got a 2-0 lead over his longtime rival Justin Ewing.
Yeah, Tucker got Ewing down in off his position from his feet in a snap down and secured a spin around takedown. Now working to get him back to the mat. Referee for this match is Don Ferris of Brooklyn Heights, Ohio, and the assistant referee is Ray Marling of Martins Ferry, Ohio. As they go off the mat and break the action, we come back to the middle. Ewing from St. Clairsville will be in the bottom position, trailing 2-0 to Bob Tucker of Martins Ferry, who will secure the top position with 51 seconds to wrestle in this first period of wrestling.
Unlike a dual meet, when you get into a tournament like this where you have to wrestle a number of times over a 3-day period, how grueling is that in terms of what it takes out of you mentally and physically?
Well, I think it takes a good bit. A dual meet, you prepare and you wrestle, and the match is over, and then you can go back home. Here, there's a lot of pressure on the kids. If they stay in the championship bracket, so probably some of the most pressure is when a wrestler gets like the semifinals this afternoon, and then 45 minutes later, if they had lost, they have to come back and try to defend themselves. If they would win their consolation match, come back, they go for 3rd and 4th. If not, and they're not ready to go, they may end up in that 5th and 6th place slot. So I think that's one of the toughest things, is when you get into consolation brackets and have to pick up your marbles and put them back in the bag and get ready to shoot again.
Bob Tucker leads 2-0 in the waning seconds of the first period over Justin Ewing. Tucker came in 21-2, Ewing at 19-1.
And there you see, as in the previous match, Bob Tucker wasn't breaking Justin Ewing down from the standing position, and referee Don Ferris warned him for stalling. It's going to be a key for Tucker to break the man down, or possibly he's either going to have to let him up and wrestle him on his feet, or he could give up a 1-point penalty and cost him a point if he had to let him up on his feet.
Bob Tucker leads Justin Ewing 2-0. And there you see Justin. We get set for period #2. The respective coaches as you have seen them in our cutaway shots. Jeff Oberdick of Martins Ferry and John Vrotzis of St. Clairsville. Somewhat ironic that Vrotzis is a Martins Ferry native and is now the coach.
There we see Tucker
St.
perform.
And Tucker gets an escape and leads 3-0.
A real good switch that could have almost been a reversal for him, but Ewing, being the accomplished wrestler he is, pulled himself away and just gave up the escape. 3-0 now in favor of Tucker. I'm quite surprised that Ewing hasn't opened up and scored some points on Tucker so far into this match. It's very important that he try to get a takedown to stay in this match, because that third period is going to come pretty quick. Also important that Tucker keep wrestling, not block, and keep wrestling in an offensive fashion, or Don Ferris is going to put another stalling warning on him, and of course give Ewing a point, which could be very crucial at this time in the match. Here we see Ewing getting around, but Tucker getting his balance and coming back in against him on a single leg. Now they're still back up in the neutral position.
Up to this point, Ewing does not appear to be as sharp as we've seen him at some other times, but he still has plenty of time to get with it here.
Now we see Ewing being warned for stalling because he's not opening up, and that really frustrates John Votris as he gets up and shows a little displeasure in the call by referee Don Ferris.
That's John over there in the green sweater.
Both wrestlers working out of the neutral position still. Both wrestlers are warned for stalling. Bob Tucker carries a 3-0 lead, and you see Don Ferris telling him to just pick it up, pick it up. I'm going to tell you something right now, fans. If these two wrestlers don't pick it up, I think we're going to see some points come pretty quick in the stalling area. Here we see Ewing taking a shot, getting in a position, head under series, trying to get a dump or a fireman's carry. Handing out. In on the single now is Tucker, right on the edge. No takedown. They go off the match, still both up. There's 14 seconds to go. It's a pretty crucial time here. Ewing needs 2 points, and Tucker can't afford to give up 2 points and close the match up here.
And you commented earlier that there is no tougher weight class in this event with regard to competitive and quality wrestlers than this weight class we're looking at 125.
This was one of the best weight classes. The top 8 kids in this weight class could be shaken up, and we wrestle them again, and I don't know whether they'd end the same or not, but very tough kids in this weight class. We have kids that's wrestling for 7th and 8th place in that area that have beaten one of the finalists here, and I think that this just shows you how wrestling has its ups and downs, and good days and bad days. But tonight we have 2 fine wrestlers here from St. Clairsville and Martins Ferry in the finals of this 125-pound class.
When you're down 3-0 with 1:45 to go, you got to be feeling a little bit of heat. If you make any more mistakes, then you really dig yourself a hole.
Probably, George, but Ewing's in a good position. Tucker's been warned for stalling on top. I don't think he's going to ride him too long. If he does, he's going to have to work a little more offense. He's going to give up a stalling warning, which I'm not going to be surprised. It could be coming here pretty quick, not moving himself up and trying to break the wrestler down.
Minute and a half
and there
to
you
go.
see it, and there you see it. So it'll be 1 point stalling point. Now the score's 3-1. Ewing, Tucker is going to have to either cut him loose and put him up on his feet and wrestle him on his feet, or possibly he could give up another stalling warning, then make the match pretty close. If Ewing would get an escape, we could go into overtime.
Well, keep in mind that the team championship is in doubt at this point. Coming in, Steubenville had a 14-point lead over Martins Ferry, and with 2 consecutive championships, the Purple Riders would come flying into the picture without any question.
At this time, the team championship is 180 for Steubenville Big Red, and Martins Ferry has closed that gap to within 7 points. They have 173 points.
So this becomes much more than just an individual scenario.
Boy, they all count at this time. Here we see Tucker working for a takedown. Now we're going to see Ewing secure an escape with 3-2 score.
3-2.
A lot of time left in this match. 1 minute to go. A lot of time left. Tucker has to watch that he doesn't stay in the block. He has to wrestle offense. Here we see Ewing get him in a bad position. I don't think he's going to score.
Ewing.
Yes, I think he is, George. No, we're coming back out. What a flurry.
Wow, this is
outstanding
excitement.
Wrestlers.
And Ewing unable
Tucker
to
will have to
score
work
as
his way
yet.
back up to his knees.
37 seconds to go. Ewing in desperation trying to make something happen here.
There we see a takedown by Justin Ewing.
And Ewing has the lead.
Takes a 4-3 lead, a 1-point lead over Tucker of Martins Ferry. 20-some seconds to go, 20 seconds to go.
Oh, what a disheartening loss this would be for Tucker after leading the entire
for Ewing
match.
to get off the mat, make a move and get off the mat and get a new start. Ooh, we see a stalling call for the top wrestler. We're going to knock the score now, George.
It's
4-4. 4-4.
Both wrestlers have lost a point as a result.
12 seconds to go. 12 seconds to go in the match. Here we see Tucker come up. We're off the mat. There's 5 seconds to go. Back to the middle. I think we're going to go overtime. I'd be quite surprised if we wouldn't go into overtime on this match.
I don't recall seeing too many finishes any more exciting than this one. 5 seconds showing.
And we're going into overtime. Now fans of sudden death overtime, they get the wrestlers up, put them in a neutral position. They wrestle 2 minutes in that position. The first point scored, the match is over.
Well, they don't waste any time. They go right at it.
Nope, conditioning is the name of the game now.
Football, basketball, they give you a couple minutes to rest. In this game, first guy that scores is the champion.
No timeouts in this sport. Again, it's very important that the stalling calls have been very prevalent in this match. Has made up the match a good bit, and I think Don Ferris, the referee, has did a fine job in making those calls.
Ewing started slowly, but is finishing strong.
No takedown, almost Ewing getting breaking him down, getting him a spin on. Now he's going to drive into him. Looks like he might get it. He's really come from behind, down 3-0 at one point in the match.
Give Tucker credit. He is hanging on
and
for
we're off the
dear
mat.
life.
And a 2-point score.
They
2
give him
points.
the deuce.
Right on the edge of the mat, 2 points. So Justin Ewing comes back from a 3-0 behind. 3-0, comes back to defeat Bob Tucker of Martins Ferry in sudden death overtime, 6-4.
We have Justin Ewing, the champion at 125. And you kind of got off to a slow start tonight. Did you just not feel that you were at your peak form in the first couple, 3 minutes of that match?
Yeah, I think I came in the match a little cold. Started to feel good to the second period. Just came back and pulled it out.
How tough is it to keep having to beat the same guy over and over again? You and he have become rivals and have had some great matches. Is it difficult to beat the same opponent, a quality opponent, a number of times?
Oh, definitely. Know each other's moves. I mean, good rivals, good friends. It's just a great match.
John Vrotzis, a relieved coach from St. Clairsville. Your thoughts about the way this young man performed here this evening?
He's just great. Words can't describe how I feel for what he just accomplished. He's a class kid, and the Tucker boy from Ferry is a great individual, and like Justin said, they're not only great rivals, they're great friends, and it's something that these guys will continue on with, I'm sure.
Great sportsmanship exhibited here as well. Justin Ewing, your champion at 125, 2 years in a row. He is an OVAC champion. Back with more in just a minute.
And vying for our championship, a junior with a record of 16-3 from Barnesville High School, Ray Jeffries.
Here we go at 130. Ray Jeffries with a record of 16-3 will take on undefeated Brian Roskovich of Bridgeport. Roskovich was the runner-up at 125 a year ago. As for Jeffries, he is pumped up all the way from the 112-pound class to this, the 130-pound championship. He finished 5th at 112 last year. Obviously, he's grown and improved considerably. Ray Jeffries of Barnesville, Brian Roskovich of Bridgeport, and Roskovich has certainly been one of the Ohio Valley's premier wrestlers in this, the 94-95 season, as you see him on the near side in blue, white, and black.
Yes, Ray Jeffries has been around. It's quite a tradition in their family. He's probably the first weekend down at 130. I think he's been at 135 so far into this season. Barnesville Shamrocks coached by Jeff Crozier. Crozier family very prevalent here at the tournament in coaching and refereeing. The Bridgeport wrestler coached by his father, Ross Roskovich, for the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Trying to work for a takedown here.
Yeah, Jeffrey's brother was a champion here 2 years ago.
Yes, he was.
Roskovich, of course, is a prominent name in the Bridgeport area. This young man has been an exceptional all-around athlete at Bridgeport High School.
Here we see Roskovich in on the leg and working out of the wizard position is Ray Jeffries as we work towards the edge of the mat. Referee for this match is Ray Marling. Assistant referee is Mr. Toby Dunlap. Toby is from Painesville, Ohio. Ray Marling, of course, from Martins Ferry, Ohio, one of our Ohio Valley referees.
So it's been our privilege so far to see 2 5-3 decisions go down to the wire and 1 overtime victory.
Couldn't ask for much better wrestling, George. It's quite a class act for our Ohio Valley wrestling. I think we'll make a pretty big mark in both the West Virginia State Tournament and the Ohio State Tournament when the end of the year comes.
From a coach's perspective, the reality, how helpless are you? I mean, at this point, what can you do for your wrestler?
Mostly from the coach's standpoint, there's some strategy between you and the wrestler into the match as far as position goes and as far as things that you scouted that wrestler does, trying to capitalize on his weaknesses and make them your strengths. Also, as you go into the match, you can anticipate some things that are happening to him and try to yell out. And believe it or not, even though there's a lot of sound in the arena here tonight, these wrestlers are very keen on picking up your coach's voice. You hear it every day in practice and a number of times, and it's pretty easy for you to pick it up, even though they have the headgears on, which protects the ears.
No score after 1 period. Have you ever seen a wrestler where you could honestly say he didn't have a weakness? Or does everybody have some sort of an Achilles heel that can be exploited?
I think everybody might have some type of weakness, but very few times can you make somebody capitalize on that weakness if they don't have a strength in that area.
It's such a different sport in the abstract than, say, basketball, where you're handling the ball, you're shooting the ball, you're playing defense, you're dishing off. There are 10 or 12 different ways to evaluate a quality basketball player. But in wrestling, what are the attributes that you're looking for, and what are the things that you would call maybe a weakness in a wrestler at this level when they're this good?
I don't think any wrestler that's at this level has that many weaknesses. I think most of the wrestlers here in the coaching that we have here in the Ohio Valley, most of the wrestlers are in good condition. I think if you check, a lot of the wrestlers either play a spring sport or also are in a conditioning program at all the time and work out a good bit of the time. The summer comes and a lot of the wrestlers go to open tournaments and things of that sort. So, it's not so much just a sport when the season's in.
Still no score with a minute to go in the second period.
There we see a takedown being scored by Brian Roskovich.
Right, so he is up 2-0.
We have about 55 seconds to go in this second period. Roskovich working out of the legs, trying to work in a power half to turn Jeffries to his back.
Roskovich came in the favorite, obviously, seeded first. Jeffries, the number 4 seed, and did a nice job to get here as he knocked off second-seeded Brad Hockenberry of Cambridge, beat him handily 6-1 in the semifinals.
Very surprising there. Hockenberry, a good athlete. Jeffries coming through with put together a real good match for the Shamrocks in that semifinal match. Also helping Barnesville is now in the double-A lead, 85.5 points over Shenandoah, 80 points, and a lot of those points are because of Ray Jeffries winning in that semifinal match, and I probably give him like 10 points in that semifinal match to his team, so that's a real good feat for him. Roskovich is a senior. This will be his last year here. Jeffries will come back for one more time at the OVAC. He's a junior. Here we see trying to work a power half again on Jeffries.
And at the end of 2, it's Roskovich with a 2-0 lead.
So we're going into the third period. Bottom position being taken by, in this choice, by Ray Jeffries, taking the bottom position. Brian Roskovich will take the top position, probably go right back into that legs and power half series. So far, even though the score 2-0, Roskovich of Bridgeport seems to be controlling and taking a little bit of his toll on Ray Jeffries. Jeffries needs to get up off that bottom, possibly score.
The respective coaches, Jeff Crozier of Barnesville and Ross Roskovich of Bridgeport. The Bridgeport Bulldogs bringing pride to the Ohio Valley with a state championship in 1988. You had a heck of a squad that year, and I think we're even ranked ahead of Bridgeport, but the chips fell for the Bulldogs in the postseason at the state meet. They
sure did, George. We had a lot of kids returning from the championship, state championship team the year before, in which we were in that race with the Bulldogs that year. And the second year, most of the season was ranked #1, but that #1 has to be proved when you get up there at Columbus in the mats, and the Cardinals just didn't seem to do it that weekend.
Davey Lamott and company doing a brilliant job. First, I can recall when Dave was a senior at West Liberty State College, the NAIA Nationals were held in this building, and he won the national championship right here in front of the hometown fans, and then later on led Bridgeport to the state title in 1988 and has since moved on to Arizona, where he is in the Phoenix area and doing a fine job of coaching there.
Again, Roskovich working in that leg series and the power half series. There's 35 seconds to go. Ray Jeffries is going to have to get up to a base and get those legs out and open something up if he's going to have any chance of getting an OVAC crown tonight.
Jeffries has just not been able to find a way to solve Roskovich.
Not so far tonight, George.
And with 15 seconds remaining, it would take an abrupt reversal of fortune for Roskovich to fail in his endeavor to win this OVAC championship.
As time runs out here in this third period, the OVAC champion at 130 pounds is Brian Roskovich of Bridgeport, defeating Ray Jeffries of Barnesville by a score of 2-0.
And Roskovich has to be ecstatic. He finished second in the OVACs last year, second in 1993, third in 1992. He has finished third, fourth, and fifth in the state the last 3 years, and he finally has a gold medal.
And we probably wish him the best of luck to get that state championship in his senior year this year.
Ups his record to 20-0, and we will chat with Brian Roskovich in just 1 second. Brian Roskovich, your champion at 130 from the Bridgeport Bulldogs, and your career has just been one excellent performance after another, but you haven't been able to get that gold medal until tonight. It has to be a great relief and a great satisfaction to you.
Yeah, I don't think I wrestled as good as I have been, but it's enough to win. Better than second last 2 years.
Well, in a match like this, you have to feel some gratification in that you didn't wrestle your best and you still were able to win, because you're not going to be at peak form all the time, so you've got to be able to know that you can win when you don't have your best stuff, sort of like a baseball pitcher, right?
Yeah, but it's still a little more comfortable when you wrestle better, so close matches just...
Well, when you get to the postseason, maybe you'll put it all together and win the whole thing. We wish you the best of luck.
So thanks.
Brian Roskovich, your champion from Bridgeport High School at 130. We'll be right back.
Second place from Barnes Ferry High School, Bob Tucker. A senior with a record of
135-pound championship coming up here from the Civic Center. George Kellis and John Stevenson with you. And we told you earlier, as we saw Ryan Muldrew, one of two sensational sophomores from JM. Here is the other one. His name is Chris Ward. He is the younger brother of Cliff Ward, who we will be seeing in an upcoming match for the championship. His opponent will be Chad Bowersock, the #1 seed, a senior. He is from Beaver Local. So Chad Bowersock of the Fighting Beavers with 14-1, a record on the year. He was 4th last year in this same weight class at 135. Senior takes on the sophomore Chris Ward of John Marshall. And this is one of those cases where maybe 2 years of maturity gives the senior an advantage?
I think a little bit, George. He's just been in a little longer competition, but yet I think Ward and his brother do a lot of wrestling in the summer and do a lot of working out, I would imagine. I think this will be a real good match and a good match to watch. Ward got to the finals by beating Jake Partolo of Shenandoah in a real close match, 4-3 in the semifinals, where Bowersock got to the finals by defeating Tim Crozier of Bel Air. We go off the mat, minute 29, no score and not too much action starting here.
We are at the 135.
Beaver Local, just coming into the OVAC in the past couple years, is coached by Rich Wright. Rich Wright is a former East Liverpool standout for Coach Nick Trombetta. Also, I think a couple-time All-American for Ashland University, just starting his coaching career at a fine school there at Beaver Local, and has accomplished a lot so far there at that school. Of course, John Marshall, one of the perennial powers here at the OVAC for quite a time, coached by Ed Dugas. Here we see Ward working in under in the head under series, trying to get something, and of course panning out as Bowersock working in now in the front headlock series and controlling Chris Ward.
Bowersock wearing all red, and of course Ward in the familiar brown with gold trim of John Marshall. No score, first period.
The referee for this match is Toby Dunlap, and Toby is one of the referees that we bring in from the outside area from Painesville, Ohio. The assistant referee is Tom Woods, and he is also an outside referee from outside the area from Mountain Lake Park, Maryland, who will be refereeing our next match. Will be Tom Wood as he moves on up into the rotation. And on the single leg is Ward panning out and trying to control the leg and stop Ward. And Ward again coming up into that leg. Looks like he might get up in there pretty close and score. Not much time to go, 10 seconds to go.
Somebody's got your leg pretzeled underneath you. That can't feel good, that's for sure.
So we got 7 seconds to go. We had a stalemate there, and Coach Dugas is yelling at Ward to come back at him, and he did right there. And Ward is kind of picking up the pace and lighting the burner here at the end of this first period, almost getting in on a takedown on Bowersock.
He's a little bit more low-key than his brother Cliff. We'll see him in a couple of minutes. Cliff Ward literally has to be uncaged. I mean, he is an animal.
He is very aggressive, and if you're going to wrestle him, you better get ready to wrestle 6 matches. I mean, 6-minute match for the whole 6 minutes. I'll guarantee you that when he comes up.
The thing I'll never forget last year with regard to Cliff Ward, I mean, literally he ran onto the mat, ran at his opponent, and they're going to tangle up again tonight. It's a rematch, and we'll talk more about that here shortly. But
here we see in the second period, Bowersock took the bottom position and got an escape, and we're wrestling out of the neutral position where Ward showed a lot of promise there at the end of the first period in getting in on Bowersock. Bowersock kind of working out of a controlled position, keeping good body control on their feet and then staying in a good stance.
One to nothing. Bowersock of Beaver Local over Ward. Chris Ward, the sophomore, John Marshall.
As they go off the match in a flurry, you can see Ward got in on a head under series, and the fireman's changed off to the single leg and almost got in pretty good on Bowersock. Bowersock working out of the underhook position. Ward coming again, and I think you're going to see there, you see 2 points out of that head under series. He'd hit it 3 times and finally completed it. There's a minute to go in this second period, and
that was a nice move by Ward.
Yes, he did a nice job on. He'd been hitting it a couple times and changing off to the single. This time he finished it with a dump series and seemed to work.
There's a little risk involved with that move, is there not?
Not too much. It's more of a position to get up under and kind of roll the kid over your shoulders. If you get under there and get stuck, there's a little bit of a risk in getting yourself back out without that wrestler spinning around. There we see a stalling warning on top position top position is the offensive wrestler, and the referees want them to work from side to side and working into a fall hold and trying to turn the bottom wrestler over. I think a lot of fans think that the bottom wrestler is the offensive wrestler and needs to initiate the action, but not so in most cases in wrestling. Here we see Bowersock coming back with an escape, knotting the score at 2-2.
24 seconds to go in period number 2.
And I think, George, you can see a little bit of strategy in the John Marshall coaching staff. They've been very effective on their feet and getting in, and they have gotten a takedown. So rather than giving up a stalling point, I think they kind of pushed Bowersock away to finish this period. If they would have stayed on top and tried to ride, it could have possibly give up a point stalling, as we saw in a couple previous matches, and closed the gap up.
The second period will come to a close. We're going to show you Ward's takedown once again.
Here you see Ward working a head under series, hitting in. Before he was trying to finish with a single leg head outside. This time dumped it off, caught Bowersock by surprise and off balance, and secured a beautiful takedown there on the edge of the mat.
2-2, third period.
Ward is working out of that bottom position. He has to get up to a base and try to get an escape. If he gets to his feet, he has to keep wrestling. He's been warned for stalling on that from that top position. The big thing for Bowersock is to ride Ward from this position, not to take any big chances. Can't afford to give up an escape. I don't think he wants to wrestle Ward too bad on his feet. Now he's working in a half Nelson, working to try to turn Ward to his back. He seems to be in a pretty good position to turn him.
We've seen great parity in these championship matches tonight. I mean, these matches are absolutely magnificent in terms of how these kids match up against one another.
And I think one thing, George, the fans don't see is the 3rd and 4th place, the 5th and 6th place, and the 7th and 8th place, which is very comparable to a lot of the wrestling that's in the finals. Many kids in them consolation brackets may be only lacking by 1 point, being put into that consolation bracket by one of these championship wrestlers. And I think we owe them a lot of respect too on the edges. There's 2 wrestlers you're viewing on TV, but there are also 6 more wrestlers in each weight class that have a lot of poise and a lot of good wrestling ability that you don't get to see tonight. Here we see working out of the 2-on-1 riding position, legs coming in as Bowersock. So far, Ward being ineffective to get up off that bottom position to score an escape or reversal. And I'm sure that Coach Ed Dugas felt pretty confident when we went into the 3rd period and we had to do something here to get up off the bottom. Referee Toby Dunlap watching here, see whether. And here we're going to see a stalling call on the top wrestler because he's not working to the side.
Still
now we're into a tough situation, George, where he's going to have to really move in that top position and work for the fall. If he holds on to him, he's going to give up a 1-point stalling and put him in a bad position. So, it's pretty effective that we're going to have to really get going. Here we see Ward getting an escape. Toby Dunlap showing an escape. They're both up. There's 24 seconds to go. Now Bowersock is going to have to open up and go for a takedown here if he's going to beat Ward.
3-2, Ward.
And one thing to remember, George, Ward has been warned for stalling. If he doesn't wrestle and keep wrestling for a takedown, you could see a stalling point come, and we could put this one in overtime as we did in one of the other matches.
5 seconds. 5 seconds, 3 seconds.
Oh, and we saw it.
There it is.
2 seconds to go. There's a stalling warning on green. We're going to knock the score.
Oh.
Stalling warning on John Marshall wrestler. We're going to knock the score at 3-3. There's 2 seconds to go. And again, George, we're going to see another overtime match.
Large following of John Marshall fans unhappy as their man was 2 seconds from a victory when a stall was called, tying this match at 3 and sending the championship at 135 into overtime. Chad Bowersock of Beaver Local in red. Chris Ward, the sophomore of John Marshall in brown.
And again, Ward needs to open up. I can't understand why he hasn't gone back to his head under series where he's been so successful. Now tying up and kind of squaring off with Bowersock. And I don't think that's what Coach Ed Dugas wants him to do. Now we see a snap down coming back at Bowersock as we go off the edge of the mat. I'm sure he'll get some directions, as you can see there, from Coach Ed Dugas, and some encouragement as to what he needs to do to win this match. So again, George, you can see how the strategy of wrestling on the top and how the calls by the referee can change a match, and a little bit of strategy can change matches. Here we see the takedown by Chad Bowersock, and that's going to win him the match by a score of 5-3 in sudden death overtime.
And a disconsolate Chris Ward gave it his all.
In 6th place,
Chad Bowersock, the champion at 135 pounds. Well, that was a dandy.
Thanks. I
in 5th place,
think I underestimated him a little bit when I went out there, and he's a real good wrestler, and he kept right out with me.
In 4th place,
When you're a senior and you have to go up against a sophomore, is it easy sometimes to think because of your edge and experience that that gives you an advantage?
from Bel Air High School, Jason
Yeah, sometimes
Porter.
more knowledge, been around wrestling a little longer in high school and
In
stuff.
2nd place,
I knew he's going to be a
from
pretty good kid because of
Barnesville
his
High
brother.
School, Ray
Has to be one of the great moments in your athletic career.
Yeah, it was coming down here. It's the first time I placed
And ladies and
down
gentlemen,
here. Well,
our
second time. Last year I
champion,
got
the
fourth.
130-pound
Senior
class,
Chad Bowersock, the
High
champion at
School,
135 pounds. We'll be right back.